If you're into cars, stop scrolling. When I walked in this morning, I was trying to figure out what kind of video I should make for the day, and it dawned on me that I haven't done a shop tour video in a long time. So, without further ado, let's take a tour of Off the Line Performance. We'll start up at the front office, and then we'll get back here in just a second. All right, you'll know you're in the right place because we have such a cool sign. Let's go through the customer entrance here. All right, so you walk in. We got a bunch of cool parts on display. We got a closed deck block that we've used on display. Got to have the nitrous bottle in the cabinet, right? We also have our little carnage cabinet here where we got some broken transmission gears, some melted pistons, some hacked wiring jobs that we've seen. Just random stuff, you know? This is Parker's desk. He's our salesperson. This is our media room. So Jay and Richard come in here and they do their edits and everything, you know, make all of our YouTube videos and Instagram posts, stuff like that. Then as we round the corner, we have a customer waiting area with a nice big couch and a chair. This battery right here is actually a phone charging station. So it's got like USB, micro USB, lightning cable, all that stuff for your different phones. And we got a nice big TV that's hooked up to Wi-Fi so you can kind of watch whatever you want while you're chilling. Come around this corner, we have 2 bathrooms for customers and people that work up front, leading into our kitchen. Full service, got a gas stove, oven, dishwasher, sink. We got a beverage fridge and a regular fridge. And just behind the kitchen is our outdoor patio. We'll come out here and do like team lunch, you know. Some of the media guys like doing their editing out here when it's really nice in the summer. Just kind of use this whenever we can. Come back through the kitchen and we will go out to what we call our showroom. So this area just kind of effectively acts as like a show and display. We got Parker's STI up here and we got my GTO up here and our Forester back there. When we do our meets and car shows and stuff like that, we'll clear this area out and stage some cars up, you know, park them a little bit more fancy, make it look nice, kind of display them a little bit more. As we walk past the cars, down here is our shipping and handling area. So this is where all of our pallets get packaged up. Inbound shipments come in here, Engage puts them into the parts room, which is central to the building. We'll probably end on this area, so hang on. Got all of our awesome garage doors that let you see inside. They let a lot of natural light into the building too, so that's always nice. And then we get to the main workshop. So on this side of the floor drain, we basically just have personal cars and customer cars that are either waiting on parts or just kind of being stored inside. Maybe some nice examples, or they're just kind of waiting for work, you know. And then next to that is Cole and Justin's little personal area. So over here, there's 2 lifts for our 2 owners to kind of tinker on their own projects. We got some other in-house builds sitting over here that we've, been working on, trying to get some progress on. The Supra is getting a full restoration, and Justin's drag Civic here is getting ready for the car show this weekend. And we also have this JZ swapped G35 that is in for a tune. I'm gonna try to get this thing popped off hopefully this week. I'm really hoping for it. Over here in the corner, we have our tire area. And then right here, we have our dyno room. So the guys are getting this set up for a little live stream event that we're doing right now. Normally this stuff isn't in here, so just kind of ignore that. But we have a nice seating area for people to come and watch the cars get dynoed. It's a nice, safe, quiet environment for them to, kind of watch. Before, we just had our dyno just kind of in the corner of the shop, and we had some issues with people walking up to it, so we needed a way to kind of isolate it a little bit. Our dyno itself is a Dynojet LC 470 or something like that. I don't remember the exact model, but it is an all-wheel drive Dynojet. But there's these spline shafts that go inside these rollers. If we pull one out, we can do front-wheel drive, we can do rear-wheel drive, or we can do all-wheel drive. And to adjust for wheelbase, this whole plate slides forward. So we can't adjust the width, obviously, but if you have like a bigger vehicle, GTRs are pretty long. Some half-ton pickups that we've had on here, we just extend this plate out and then it'll allow for a longer vehicle. And then right here is our dyno fan duct. I'll give you guys a peek at that when we get to our dog park, but this allows forced air in. We get over 100 mile an hour worth of air out of this fan. And the ducting for that fan is actually inside the building. I'll show that to you real quick. So this is our equipment room. It's got all of our bulk oil and coolant sitting here. We got our air compressors, and then that back in the corner is the dyno duct. You can actually see where it tapers down there right before it goes through the wall. That's how we get all that velocity. It adds up a little bit of pressure right there and forces that air through the duct. And with this, we also have a fire safe fuel storage room. So we got some Ignite ethanol in here. We got some leaded race gas, just the normal stuff, you know. Back out into the main shop area here, we have 6 in-ground lifts that are shared between me and one other technician. So there's 2 technicians here. That system seems to work out pretty well because that way, if we run into a snag on a long-term project, we can work on something else to occupy our time. And then also it allows us to kind of tie up one lift for a while if we have a engine swap, wire harness job, something like that that's going to take a lot of time. But it doesn't impact the regular flow in and out of cars. You know what I mean? And I definitely should have cleaned up my work area before filming this, but oh well. We have built-in benches, courtesy of Rousseau. They're from Canada. These are really, really nice boxes. This is my little tool cart. I mostly work out of this. I can do a toolbox tour later on in another video. If you want to see that, comment down below. In between all 6 of the lifts, right here in the middle, we have our outdoor dog park. A lot of us here have dogs, and it's nice to be able to bring them to work and have a fenced-in area for them to run around, you know, go to the bathroom, play, you know, do whatever they got to do. And then back here, you can also see that dyno fan that I was talking about. That's that thing's about, I don't know, 12 feet tall. It's pretty freaking big. Back into the shop here, let's talk about the photo studio. So back here at the end of the shop, we actually have 3 different things. We have our detailing bay that has a hot seat with a soap mixer and everything, so you can pressure wash your car with hot water. And there's a foam cannon, a bunch of detailing supplies in the cabinets there in the back. And then this yellow reel right there in the middle is actually RO water that's spot free. So after you wash your car off, you can do a spot free rinse. All right, let's get to the photo studio. Okay, so right now, Richard has this place set up to do some product photography. But I'll kick our hexagon lights on just so you can see the room a little bit better. It is going to be a little echoey in here. All right, so we have enough space to get about 3 cars in here if they're small, but we usually just stick to 1 or 2. The coolest part about this room is that the walls are all rounded. So if you look down in this corner, all the walls have smooth transitions. You can still see the transition between floor and wall there, but the photographers can edit that out a little bit. But when this is all clean and cleared out, the photos end up looking like you're in a bubble, which is really, really cool. And the last thing that's back here is the music studio. This is a separate business. It's a rented space, and it goes from this wall all the way back to the back of the building, and it takes up about 3,000 square feet back there. If you want to see a tour of the music studio, comment down below. I will do a tour of that. I just need to schedule it with them because I don't know if they have a client back there right now. All right, we will leave the shop area now and go back to our storage area. So we have all these stacker lifts where we can stack up, different cars that are either just not needing work and they're just kind of hanging out for a bit, or they're just kind of collecting dust, waiting for work. We don't put customer cars back here. This is all just cars that are either owned by employees or the owners of the shop. And then obviously on the other side, we have all of our manufacturing storage, so raw materials and stuff like that. We have our plasma CNC table right here, and that leads into the fabrication area. So we have 2 welders here, Eric and Andrew, and they do all of the in-house fabrication. I'll show you some of their work. They are extremely, extremely talented guys. Come on, focus. Look at those beads, dude. Beautiful. Got a couple different fab tables, a bunch of different cutting and bending tools, sandblasting cabinets, some belt sanders, the normal fabrication stuff. And then as we go deeper into the storage room here, it's jam-packed right now. We got a lot of stuff going on back here, but we do have space for some light body work. We're not offering this to customers. This is just going to be for in-house stuff. And we do have a paint booth back there. Now we can get out of here and we will go up to our mezzanine where we eat lunch. Casual 2600 horsepower Lambo. This will be at Ice Cream Cruise if you want to come see it. All right, coming back out here, you can see we're back in the showroom-ish area. There's the Forester. Our parts room is central. I'm not going to walk through there because it's just a bunch of shelves with a bunch of parts on them. Screw it, I'll show you guys. But yeah, they just went and reorganized this whole room. It looks really, really nice. All right, I'm running a little bit low on time, so we're going to hustle through this last bit. Up our steps here above the shipping area, we have our break room. It's got some chairs, couches, TV, another fridge, sink, everything you need to have lunch. We also do like team meetings and stuff like that up here. We'll finish off with the locker room. Through here, underneath our mezzanine, we have our locker room. So there's obviously lockers, there's bathrooms through there, and then we have a shower right through here. All right, hope that was entertaining. If you guys have any questions, comment them down below. And if you want to see more shop tour videos, you know what to do.